modular car. And we have built NOVA because we want to reduce waste. NOVA contains different modules, and by interchanging those modules, NOVA can grow with you during your life. And there's another nice thing about NOVA, and that is she has modular battery packs. So there are just little suitcases from our partner Cleanfront, and when you arrive at your work, you just easily swap the suitcases and you don't have to put a stagger in. But as soon as we were finished with NOVA, we started to wonder, what are more concepts to make mobility more sustainable? And that next step, we thought, should be significant, because over the world, global CO2 emissions are rising and rising, as you can see here. Last year, we passed the border of 400 parts per million. And I know that number doesn't, well, said much to me either, but after some researching, I found out that many experts, for example including the United Nations, are saying that the safe level of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere is far below this border, and actually far below that 400. And as we all know, carbon dioxide leads to climate change. But furthermore, carbon dioxide is also bad for your health and creating health problems. As you can see here, this is the city of Shanghai behind me, filled with a toxic smog, which is of course not good for your health. And that same city could look like, without smoke, so beautiful. So we started to wonder, what can we do to make these cities beautiful and everybody on our planet healthy? And as mobility sector, we contribute a lot, because every year we produce over 70 million vehicles. And all those 70 million vehicles are contributing in the coming 50 years on our roads to extra emissions. And luckily, the automotive sector realizes that and is going to drive efficient. So they are searching for lightweight materials. And a couple of lightweight materials are, for example, behind me, carbon fiber, which is of course a really strong material, and also, for example, aluminium. But in the search for light materials, there's a catch, a negative catch. And that's for, as you see behind me, that is that aluminium and carbon fiber need more than 5 to 6 times more energy during production than the material it replaces, conventional steel. So we have a problem, because we're driving efficient, but all the energy we save during driving, we're putting into production, making the emission balance negative. And to give you an example of how bad it is for example this. So if you have a big SUV, the energy that goes in production and the emissions that result in that production are the same as if you would drive it 200,000 kilometers. And even, well, we're talking now a big SUV, but as you can see, for other cars, this is still significant. And as TU Ecomotive, we thought, well, how could we adapt that? So we came up with something new, a biocomposite. We made use of this plant behind me, namely flax. And flax is a very curious plant, because it grows almost anywhere, and it contains really, really strong fibers. And we use those fibers to create a material that is light and strong, but above all, it's also sustainable, a material we all search for in the automotive industry. And the beautiful thing about this plant is that while it's growing, it's already absorbing carbon dioxide before this material is even put in our car. So, and with this plant, we've created these tapes. And these tapes are the first step in our process. Because as you can see here nicely on these tapes, the fibers are put in line next to each other. And these tapes we use and put on top of each other to create a material which is really strong and can account for forces in multiple directions. In other words, a material you would love to put in your car. But we weren't finished with these tapes, because only these tapes wouldn't be enough. And therefore we created a sandwich panel. And as you can see, the top layer and the bottom layer are made of the biocomposite, of flax. But we also added a core. And this core is very curious, because it's actually a biological plastic. So this core is fully made of sugar beet. So it's also sustainable and bio-based. And this core is structured in a honeycomb structure to add strength to the material. And our mission didn't stop here, because we don't want to deliver a material and then say to the automotive industry, well, we have delivered this material, well, can you put it in a car? No, we thought further. And that's why we made Lina. And I don't know if anybody of you saw this already, but Lina was presented before summer. And Lina is world's first structural bio-based car. And this means that the whole body and the whole chassis of this car is made of bio-based materials. And to prove that Lina wasn't just some kind of concept car, we put them to all the regulations and eventually received a license plate. So this car, made of bio-based materials, can actually drive legal on the road. And with that, it only weighs 300 kilograms. So making Lina also a very efficient car. So what we want to show is that we can make a car which is efficient, sustainable, from the production till the recycling. And that's what really matters.